I done did a lot. You ain't did shit at all. Whipping up a pop, show you how to get it off. I don't really rock. I just get the brick across. Take you to the block. My shorties know I've been a boss.
Once again, this is another exciting week here on Pop Radio, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. I'm your host, Tyrone Muhummad, with Queenie, Greene, and this is the Frontline show. Thank you all for tuning in, and we have a special guest here today. We're going to get right to it because this is a serious topic, serious conversation. I have Miss Pamela Spivey here from the MAMS Foundation. Pamela, look at that camera right there. Let the people know about your organization and the reason for starting it. This is very serious, people. Please listen and share the lives.
Yes, good evening all. I am the founder of MAMS Foundation, and my daughter and I started this foundation in memory of Michael, my son, who I lost to prescription drugs. So we are now bringing awareness to the opioid crisis and overdose prevention. And that is my mission now. We started last year actually at Thanksgiving time. We were too grief-stricken to have Thanksgiving without Michael. So we decided to take it to the people, and we did. We, in spite of our grief, we set up tents, we had tables, we served hot meals, we had care packages for the people in the community. We even had resource materials for those that are still struggling with the addiction, and we also had information for their loved ones as well. So in spite of everything, we had a good turnout. We even had Channel 2 out last year, and they gave us a full story on Michael. So this year we decided to do it again, and this is our second annual, and we are doing more this year because what my mission is now is to try to educate our people on signs of overdose. Yes, you know, it's so imperative. It's vital information. They need to be educated on what to look for in an overdose situation. So I am trying to get the information out there. I've actually have acquired naloxone, which is the opiate reversal medication for overdose, and I will have that available at our event on Thanksgiving. So we plan to not only feed the people, it is the season for Thanksgiving, and we're going to share the love, we're going to fellowship, and we're also going to educate. You know, we're going to educate the people on this deadly, devastating drug, and we're going to try to make, and we are going to have the naloxone, which is Narcan, available for family members to have, so they can have it on hand. I will be giving instructions as how to administer the Narcan, and hopefully, you know, they can make use of it if they're faced with the situation, and from that point, hopefully they can help somebody else. So we just going to pass this and share it among ourselves so that we can know how to fight against overdose. And it's just imperative, man. I'm just extremely compelled to make a difference here because I didn't get that opportunity. So if I can save somebody else from the pain and the emptiness and the grief that I'm going through, then, you know, that's my mission. And that's why I'm here tonight. I'm here to just put it out there. I just want to continue to, you know, educate and bring awareness to what we're doing.
You created a ministry around substance dependency and overdose. what I would like to talk about more, and then Queenie will probably chime in on this as well, is that the heroin epidemic right now.
Yeah.
It's like that never became a major issue for our communities, and heroin been around forever.
Yes, it has.
Until white people and their children start dropping dead and having overdose.
Yes.
So when just to see you here as a black woman and the grief that you probably still going through as a result of your son dying from overdose, just for that, just put a human face on your son. I mean, allow the people to see your son for whom he was, because I just found out he was an artist. Yes. But allow the people to, tell them a little about Michael and aspirations.
What was he
his life? The drugs before and after. Maybe
Michael
take your time.
Michael was a normal kid. He had good upbringing. He was in a good environment, best of schools. But along the way, the opiates, took a grip on him. But before that, Michael was loving. He was intelligent. He had a way with people. If you met him, he would leave that kind of impression on you that you will remember him. Yes. Because he had personality. He was just, he was an artist. Like I say, his music, it could have went to the top had not the drugs got in the way, because he was just good with his writing, his editing. He created his own beats. I mean, it's nothing that he couldn't do. And then, even during his struggles, he went to real estate school. He completed the course. He took the test for the first time, and he scored a 92.
What do you believe the ultimate push was that took him over to that point? Like, you hear a lot of people talk about depression and
mental
illness, and just life in a whole. But a lot talk about how depression, it starts with depression and trying to mask depression and escape that and get away from that. That's when drugs start. And
exactly.
Then it kind of
you know what? And since all this is, has happened, I have been studying the science of addiction, and that's where it stems from. It really starts as an adolescent, as a teenager, being mischievous and want to try stuff, and then it goes from that to peer pressure. It goes to by association. When kids are young, if they are around certain things, then that's how they become vulnerable to it. As for Michael being depressed or not, or a mental illness, no. It was none of that. Because he had a good life. He just made some poor choices along the way.
So have we all.
We all have. And I've made some, So... But to say the least, this choice of prescription drugs is more devastating than heroin because it chemically attacks the brain. It's a disease, and and I know some people try to downplay it, but it's not. It is a disease, just like heart disease, and it's acquired through abuse, through drug abuse. Yeah. So over time, using, it attacks the brain. And it changes the personality, it changes the behavior. And I look back on him, how he could not stay focused. Yes, when he starts something, like he started the real estate. He finished it, aced the test, and then he shut down. He couldn't pursue it because of his illness.
Because of the addiction.
Because of the addiction. So that's what it does.
So ultimately, and we'll talk about this more, you created an organization, a foundation called MAM. That's the Michael Aaron Mitchell Foundation. And through this foundation, you do what? What is it that you want to convey? What is it that you perform? And I'm familiar with the food drives and the feeding other people. So what ultimately, who are you trying to touch? What age group that you would like to touch the most from Michael's story? Just give me to date, like some of the things, what have you, what has been your ultimate goal and intent from the Man Foundation?
Well, you know what, my mission, again, I say, is to just educate the people as a whole. I mean, yes, we need to target our youth because they are being attacked, you know, by these prescription drugs, heroin, and whatever else choice of drugs that they choose to use. But just to be able to just bring awareness to not only the substance misuse that they're struggling with, but to the family members. And that's where I come in at.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, because I've realized one thing, anybody that's struggling with addiction, they've really got to come to terms with, you know, getting help, going to treatment, just the ultimate of, okay, I want to fight this, you know. But at the end of the day, until they get to that point, we want to prepare a harm reduction process for them, you know, meaning we need to educate ourselves on overdose signs. We need to make that Narcan, which is a naloxone medication, available for overdose. It's a reversal medication for overdose, and we need to have that available in our homes. Innocent bystanders, first responders, they have it now. Yeah. You know, the police officers, the fire department, ambulance, they all have it. You know, so when you call 911, you know, they can address an overdose situation with the Narcan. So as family members, people in the community, we need to have that same medication available also.
So for family members, for parents, family members, close relatives, even I would say anybody that's around, just co-workers, what are some of the signs? Because before we went on, we talked about some things, and you blew my mind when you said snoring. Mm-hmm. What are some of the signs that family members or people that are just in your circle, people can kind of, you know, see? Because, you know, coming from, I have many family members in my family that are addicted to many different substances, from alcohol, opioids, hair. I mean, you know, this is the dynamic of where we come from.
Right. And
a person that's addicted, they're not going to necessarily, like you said, until they're ready for that help, they're not necessarily going to say, I have this addiction. This is where my money's going. This is where, you know, what life is for me. What signs is there or possible signs for a parent, you know, for someone to say, okay, they're not speaking on it, but I'm starting to see this?
Yeah. Well, my personal experience to one of the signs of overdose, my son, when he was transitioning, he was snoring. He had a snorkeling, snoring sound, unannounced to me. I didn't know that his respiratory system was shutting down. Wow. So my granddaughter found him, and that's the call. She called me. She said, Mom, Michael is just snoring really loud. I'm like, snoring? I said, wake that boy up. You know, wake him up. You know. But that wasn't the case. So even during those few minutes of finding him snoring, had we addressed the situation, call 911 immediately, or had that naloxone available,
you could have saved his life.
I could have saved his life. But 5-10 minutes passed, And then I said, did you go out there and wake Michael up? And she went out there and she said, Grandma, it's something else wrong. And that's when we knew. But 10 minutes has passed. You know, time has passed because we were uneducated. We didn't know what the signs were. So it's imperative that people at least know that. They need to know what to look for. If they walk in their daughter's, son's, whoever room and they're laid out and they hear this sound, then that needs to be the first thing to come to mind. Overdose.
So we want to talk more about that after this break. So thank you, people. Come on back. You're watching Pop Radio. You're watching iHeart Radio, Spotify Premium, and this is the Frontline Show.
That boy, we buy it. Dinero, we get it. Dinero, I done did a lot. Most niggas are fold. I done did a block. Most niggas in toes. Winters they be hot. Summers they be cold. Had to sauce it up a lot. Since niggas think I'm on realest story ever told. Bricks on the stove. Got them elbows. Very well known. They don't know the half. Breaking down.
The Frontline Show, where Frontline issues are front and center. This is iHeart Radio, Pop Radio, Spotify Premium, and thank our sponsors, 7 Star, app. And let's get it, Mama. You just left us with something that was heartfelt, and just knowing the signs, just recognizing the signs that your loved one is in trouble, because we hide behind our illnesses, we hide behind our addictions, we hide behind our flaws, our faults, because we're human. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want people to know we have depression, we have mental health issues. This is why Queenie, Greene, and I, and when you look at the Frontline Show, we want frontline issues. These are frontline issues in our community. And people like you all, and you are on the front line and changing and transforming, even if it's one person at a time, that don't often get any recognition for the work that you do and have been doing. So this is what gives me joy to have a show that tackles issues of frontline, whether it's employment, healthcare, health issues, mental health, violence prevention, substance abuse counseling. And as most people don't know, that's like one of the main things that ECCSC represent: substance abuse counseling and mentorship. But we do so much with the violence and the killing. You person ain't worried about what they smoking or drinking when you can't even walk down the street without getting shot. So those become issues. And substance abuse issues get pushed on the back burner, where we put all our resources towards violence. Mental health well get put on the back burner. So continue to tell us more about just those signs and the things that. Have you talked to other parents who've lost children to substance abuse?
Yes, I have.
OD?
Actually, I have connected with several angel moms who have lost their child to drugs, and an angel dad, a couple of angel dads too. So we realize that this dark path is a journey that nobody wants to take, but because we're on the same journey, then we know that we're not alone. So we do have something in common.
That's right.
So therefore, I belong to a couple of angel mom groups, and we meet monthly. We meet for dinner. I go to grief support groups as well, and I even belong to a angel mom group on social media, and we just really share our laws, how we feel on a daily basis, and. Nobody else really, they don't want to share your grief. They really don't. They feel for you. But it only goes so far. So this is a path that
you really, I feel it. It's like, it's clear to me. And it's been how long since Michael's death?
It'll be 2 years, March.
And it's like I don't believe a mom ever get over losing her son.
And can I just add to that? I'm glad you brought that up. I've been challenged. My grief has been challenged by different ones along the way. They want to feel like you should be better. You gotta let it go. You gotta come out of this. Don't talk. You can't talk to me like that. Number one, because I'm gonna shut you down and let you know that it's not your call to say how I should feel.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you haven't lost your child. I've lost mine, and I don't know how much you love yours, but I know how much I love mine.
Yes, ma'am.
So that ain't your call, and I'm not gonna let people dictate to me about my grief and how I should how long it takes, or how I should grieve, or how better I should be. Because guess what? It ain't gonna get no better than this. It ain't. I'm learning to cope. I'm learning to do things to keep me busy, keeping his name alive, keeping his spirit going, working the foundation, making a difference in other people's lives, and perhaps save a life. If I can save one life,
so
then my work is not in vain.
For a parent that is suffering some of the same things that you have talked about tonight, for a parent that has family members and friends saying, you should get over it, it's time, you should go. For a parent that's going through that, and right now they're sitting at home, and they don't have that sisterhood or that angel mother connection, how would a parent get in touch with you? How do they come into your foundation?
I would be glad for them.
How do they seek out this almost mentorship and just a sisterhood, a motherhood, and just support? How would a person seek that out and be a part of the MAM Foundation?
Well, I would definitely disclose my information. They can reach me by text, by phone. I'm open to receive anybody that needs
if you like, you
information.
Can tell them, now, and you can tell them when we're done as well. So.
Okay, well that's good. Again, my name is Pamela Spivey. My email address is spiveypamela@yahoo, and that's spelled my last name, first name @yahoo. My phone number is 773-981-1759, and I am more than open to receive anybody that needs counseling, if anybody needs somebody to talk to so that they can share their loss, or just to connect with somebody that understands their pain and what they're going through. Because I'm telling you, it helps. It does. And I'm not going to say it's a big help, or it's going to revive you or make you back to normal, because you'll never be normal again. Actually, this is a new normal.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, take your time.
Yes,
breathe.
Definitely.
This is the time you pause, because a life is so precious. I mean, just the other day, just being on the streets, and we losing our sons and our daughters too young.
Yes.
From outside. And
it's not an age.
Yeah.
This is not an age. Certain age group problem.
And it's not a race problem.
It's not a race problem.
It don't discriminate.
No, it doesn't.
It's just that when it hits other communities, those higher class communities, then it becomes commercial at that point. Then it becomes an epidemic.
It gets more attention.
It gets more attention.
Yes,
it definitely is named an epidemic.
But and that's what they do. And I'm gonna say this. They always attach a white face to the opioid epidemic. Mm-hmm. But you really can't. You can't discriminate like that, because it's not just the white kids. Yeah, they definitely getting the help.
They can discriminate, but organizations like yours and others, mine, Queenie, we're saying we're not going to allow you.
Well, they have the resources.
Yeah, you can.
They got resources. They got funding. They got more than what we have to work with.
Yes.
And not only do they have that, then our community just don't. They don't even have the education that goes with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, on the north side, I mean, I went to high school on the north side, and I still have a lot. We still go on the north side on a regular basis. And there, in certain communities, there are multiple locations that you can just walk into and say, I need help. It's not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to go to the hospitals. They have so many different outpatient, mental health outpatient, just outpatient locations that you can just walk into and say, I need help. Do you find that on the south side and the west side? No. You have to, on the south side and the west side, you have to go and attach yourself to some hospital and then find their outpatient location. Then you have the insurance and all of that. That is, all of that plays a part in how quickly,
definitely plays
a part. How quickly you'll get assistance or how quickly you'll even get information on assistance for your loved one. Versus, like I said, just being able to walk in and say, I need help.
Well, I can say this. I have resource materials for our community as well. You know, we can go to Haymarket. Haymarket is a government-funded facility that any of us are welcome in there. But it's a process, You've got to be detoxed in order to go in to do that 30-day program there.
So when you say detox, they send them to a treatment program?
A detox is like you have to go through a detox, a cleansing, before you can even go into a 30-day rehab program. Yes. And that's with mostly all of them, because Michael's experience, when he went into the rehab the first time, I took him up to Gateway. Mm-hmm. And I had insurance at the time. And when they evaluated him, they said, man, we can't take him now. He has to detox first. He has so much of that medication in his system, that drug in his system, that they would not just take him in like that. So he had to go to a detox hospital and detox for 3 days. Mind you, it was nothing but the mental health unit that they sent him to, and that's where that's where they sent him. They always
to be fed,
and to be watched, and let him detox that way. So that was not a good sight either. That was not a good sight. Here he is amongst all these mental health issues. People that got mental health issues, and that was not his illness.
Yes, ma'am.
His illness was addiction. Mm-hmm. So, but
lumping them all in the same category, in the same space, and that means that they won't receive equal treatment when you do that.
Yeah.
Everything is specialized, and it should be specialized treatment for every individual and even every person, because all of our personalities and characters are different. So with that being said, I want to come back after this break, and then we're going to talk about your foundation and the hunger, the feeding, the Thanksgiving meal you give out.
Thanksgiving again.
So,
okay.
Come on back, people. You're watching the Frontline show on iHeartRadio, Pop Radio, Spotify Premium.
Chemo, solid, hard body. In my city, I'm in your lobby. They can't stop it. Tenfold, copy. Them hitters, they lurking, they killing, they rock a lot. You ain't this shit at all. Whipping up a pop, show you how to get it off. I don't really rock. I just get the brick across, take you to the block. My shorty.
Welcome back to the Frontline show. I'm your host, Tyrone Muhummad. This is a very sensitive topic. But first of all, sister, I want to just say to you, Miss Pamela, that I'm proud of you. And I told you I was going to be a part of assisting you. And I'm trying to, I am being a man of my word, which I often do all I can, to be. So it's very a heaviness in that when you talk about saving our sons, because that's what I do every day in the city of Chicago. Just the other day, I was involved with or a part of. I didn't want to be, but a young man getting shot. and his sister getting shot on 52nd and Ashland, and being there, witnessing that, and actually putting pressure on the gunshot wound of this young man, and then going over to comfort his sister while and all she was saying that, like, hey, Mr. Muhammad, she said, is it gonna hurt when they take the bullet? Is it gonna I said, that's the least of your worries, little sister. We don't worry about that. We're gonna get you straight. Mm-hmm. Just seeing them get to and then having to take, because the police wouldn't, Tracy and I had to take the mother to the hospital after her son, witnessing her 15-year-old son get shot in the neck or the head, I believe.
Wow. And
her daughter gets shot next to him. He pretty much losing blood, a lot of blood, worrying about his sister. She okay? She got hit in the leg. And he's trying to stand up, so I got to keep him down. So to lose a son, to lose a child, and it's like watching that mother's wail, her hurt, and her wailing out there after recognizing her son was laying there bleeding out. And you watching and trying to give her comfort. It's like, how do you comfort that,
You can't.
How do you do that?
You can't. It doesn't.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine dealing with that.
So
we're dealing with it every day.
Yeah.
In many different ways.
Yeah.
Not just violence, but the opioid epidemic, mental health. I mean, we're dealing with it in numerous
trauma
different ways.
Yeah.
In our
every day in our
community.
community.
Yes. And it's
with no
kind of
help.
like it's really, I don't know. I don't even have words of how you feel when you lose a child or to see your child suffering. Because even before Michael passing, I suffered too.
Yes, ma'am.
I was on that roller coaster right with him, and it was nothing I could do.
And fighting and trying to give him the help he needs.
I'm trying to get all the help he needs. I'm ministering to him. I'm talking to him. I'm praying with him, and I'm giving him tough love all at the same time. So I was just all over the place with trying to help my son, and he ended up getting locked up. His first offense, a felony. And everybody was telling me, oh, you should leave him in there. Maybe this will help him get himself together. But I said no to
I
that.
wouldn't advise that.
No.
And
No, I said no. I said, I'm not
21
gonna
years,
leave
I don't
my
want to
baby.
spend a day.
Right.
Yeah, that was my
There's
take.
one-
I'm
some
like,
love is
I don't
one
want to
thing, but
leave. I didn't want to
that's-
leave him. I said he already got, addiction illnesses going on. I said he get locked, get stay in there. What other illness, what other problem he gonna be faced with that he's got to deal with? So no, I wouldn't let him stay there.
That's right.
And I didn't. And I went and got him out, and everybody seemed to think, oh, you should have left him in there. No, I should have left you in there.
Yeah. Right. And see how it feels.
But to say the least,
Other human beings
It's,
often,
you know, it's
human beings
easy.
often think they know what's best for
easy
you.
from the
Yeah.
outside looking in for someone to tell you,
or for somebody
what
to think that
you-
they
how
got
you
the
should
best
do it.
advice. I mean, there is no perfect way for this parenting, trying to deal with addiction. It's just
You
no
don't get a
perfect way.
handbook.
So
You don't
you don't get a
handbook.
handbook.
When it comes
So
to parenting.
And the handbook is different then for every child.
it's
Yes.
for every child.
Yes.
And it is. So that's where I was at. I did not leave him in there. As soon as they gave him a bond that I could afford, I went and got him. And I didn't take it. It wasn't
And you
long.
should have,
And
because the prison is a place that at any given time you can lose your life. So you did right. You shouldn't feel guilty about that at all.
And I don't. I really don't. Sometimes I think about the what ifs, what if maybe if I did this or had I done that, But it's no perfect way to do this thing, because I know in my heart that I did everything.
Yes, ma'am.
I did everything. I went above and beyond helping him, and my help just could not it couldn't beat it. You know, it had taken over, and as much as he wanted to stop, because it had attacked his brain cells, he couldn't fight it. Mm-hmm. He couldn't. I mean, I would literally just see Michael. He couldn't focus long. He would just shut down. He'd get real quiet. He wouldn't even share, you know, what was going on the inside. And I, you know, just been doing some studying of, you know, some of the withdrawals and stuff from this prescription drug. It have you in sweats, and it have you hallucinating. He went through all of that.
So not only coping with the actual opioid, but also coping with the 15 side effects that comes with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
I'm sure
even when he tried to
on the body, on the mind,
and then you take more drugs just to escape the side effects.
The side effects, definitely.
Yeah. He even, you know, during the times that he was trying to stop, the side effects of the Xanax, which was the drug of his choice, was hallucinating. And he would just start talking to people that weren't there, and you know, so I'm like, my son ain't never had no mental illness, but it was from the drugs.
Now, I was told before, because I know back in the day, a parent could, if it was mental health, a parent could commit a child, put them into a program, you know, whether it's mental health facilities, rehabs, things like that. A parent could enroll someone, but they tell me now that you can't
without the child's consent. Right?
You can't, even no matter how aged the person has to consent. So even for someone that's not a minor, that's 35.
Are you telling me that has to hold on? I got to check that out, because you're telling me that
that's what
I've been told. A child can be protected from consenting to have.
The child has to agree.
I'm thinking anyone. Like sex, right? A child, your law protects them from not having consensual sex. But you telling me that if a child, you see them spiraling out of control because of drugs, you as a parent cannot commit them.
Cannot, whether it's mental health, whether it's
that's great.
A person has to. They have to volunteer, and you just can't anymore. You can't take a person and say, "This, I'm signing you up," because you can't. You know, I mean, because I would.
I couldn't. I know Michael had to agree.
I would think in a certain situation,
that he went in, he had to agree.
They're not in their right mind to say, "I want to go."
I want to go. We know they're not in their right mind.
But if they are, that's one of the hard parts about getting someone help. You can't get someone help anymore. And I guess when you deal with a person's rights and things like that, but then at the same time, you know, like you said, if a person is hallucinating and they're really not even in right mind to say, I want to go, you have to get that person at that point that they say, I want to go, and I'm going to go.
So even if that person is about to cause harm to other persons, individuals, you still saying at that point,
they have to agree. They have to voluntarily agree to go into any type of program, whether it's mental health, whether it's drug related, alcohol related,
I get it.
Whatever it is, the person has to, even for the minors, even for these young kids.
I'm not sure about the minors.
Now, I know 15 and up, because even now for a 16-year-old, you know, a 16-year-old can tell the police or DCFS and things like that, they don't want to be in your house anymore.
That's true.
And they will remove them, and they don't have to. But at the same time, that's still technically a minor. Yeah. So you can't, when it's
they pick and choose. They pick and choose.
Now, if it's younger than that, you know, maybe 10, 12, I don't know about that, but I do know at a certain point now, from like 16 on up, they have to agree. They have a lot more rights than they did when we were growing up.
We didn't have any.
We didn't have any, but they have a lot more now. You know, because at 16, I couldn't tell my mother, I don't want to be in this house. I probably got punched in my throat and made to go wash dishes. Okay. But, you know, they can now.
So listen, before we have a few minutes left, right? And I want you to let the people know how they can support this upcoming, what is that? On Thanksgiving
Day. Yeah.
With the donations, and you can best explain it.
Yeah, we are having a Thanksgiving feast on Thanksgiving Day. We will be located at 79th and Peoria at that corner lot. So if you are interested in coming out and you just want to be a part of, what we're doing as far as, sharing the love and if you want to bring donations, I mean, we're open for donations. Actually, you can contact me. Again, my number is 773-981-1759 if you'd like to donate.
So the donations are, you say, paper products to serve the meals, toiletry for care packages. You say water, soft drinks, desserts, gift cards, and if y'all would like to make a monetary contribution, checks payable to MAM Foundation. That's MAM Foundation.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Anything else you would like to add to that?
What time frame?
We're going to start at 11 a.m. until till everything is gone. So last year we finished up about 2, starting at 11. So yeah.
Well, ECCSC, Tyrone, Muhummad, Queenie, Greene, we support you in whether it be food, some monetary contribution, or our time. We're gonna provide some form of contribution to what it is that you do. And like I say, our unity, our link, because you can't have prison reform without dealing with the substance abuse issue that lands a lot of brothers into. So that marriage is a great marriage because a lot of brothers die, even in prison.
Connection. Yeah, that's where it starts.
Yeah, it starts there.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is a big circle. It's all just a big circle.
It's a big circle.
The drugs and prison and
mental,
it a lot of it goes back to what we have in our communities, the resources.
Mm-hmm.
People not being able to find jobs, things like that. There are a lot of these things that we face in our communities causes.
Once again, that frontline issues, and we have to continue to push these frontline issues to our state officials, legislators, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them pushing the way they should as it relates to substance abuse issues in our community.
It's a bigger agenda. They want the city for business.
Yeah, they got other things on the table that's bigger than us, and they try to stigmatize drug misuse, and we just want to
stigmatize drug misuse while selling.
But while selling it,
while selling drugs, prescription, as well as the weed dispensaries.
And let me add this, and
well.
I'm glad that topic came on the table because I'm sitting here trying to cover everything. But Michael, he started with the prescription drugs from a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a bad car accident. Yes. He started with the pain management doctors, and that doctor literally refilled that prescription over a period of 5 years.
Wow.
At a high dosage.
Wow.
Yes, he did. And and got away with it. And when I pulled his records, when I pulled his medical records, when I pulled his prescription records from Walgreens, it showed me the amount of drugs that he was getting. He was that's a whole nother story there. But 1 month, they had prescribed him 240 pills for 1 month.
Wow.
And that was several months that I saw that over this 5-year period. Wow. So can you imagine
the
chemical imbalance? They knew he was abusing the drug. So why are you writing this drug? Obviously, it has to be some gain there for you. for you to just keep rewriting this prescription to somebody that you know
You
that's
can only
abusing
have
it.
so many, prescriptions in a month, especially of a certain type of drug, especially if it's narcotic based.
Well, listen, this won't be your first time here. We're gonna talk about this, and this is your passion. So you'll be here again, making this a frontline issue for you. I mean, for everybody else out there, and it's a frontline issue for us. So we thank you for coming, and please, people, support her. She left her information. Let's get out there. Let's do some good. It's a sad thing, but let's not let Michael's death be in vain. He can say his death will be a catapult, a catalyst to help save others. So thank you all for tuning in. This is the Frontline Show on Pop Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify Premium, and thanks to our sponsor, 7-Star Protected app. So come again next week. Thank
you. Hammers and clips, big body Chevys, now it's foreign whips. Colombian dime piece right at my hip. Told me I wouldn't make it, no way I'd win. Try to fucking bury me, throw me back in. No way I ain't going, always going in. Never turning back, always watch my back. Jungle full of monkeys.
MAM Foundation is in memory of Michael, and we are hosting our Thanksgiving event on Thanksgiving. You can contact me at 773-981-1759, or you can email me at mamfoundation, which is one word, at Yahoo. We are accepting donations. We are still open for non-perishable goods, desserts, water, toiletries, gift cards, or even you can make a monetary gift to the foundation. So we are looking forward to this big day. We want to just share and fellowship with the community and just try to make a difference. We want to just, have a feast for those, the less fortunate, those that, in need of. And that's why we're providing care packages as well, so that they can have some toiletries to take home with. And along with that, we are having resource materials for those that are still struggling with addiction. And we are having available the naloxone, which is the medication for opiate reversal for overdose. So we're going to have all of that in one. We're going to have a twofold thing going. We're feeding the less fortunate, and we are bringing awareness to the overdose crisis, and we're just going to make it a great day.
But I'm a silverback. Do it for my gente. Do it for the streets. Do it for you haters. Surrender, no retreat. Esta vida loca made me a beast. No more fucking losing. I'm a fucking chief. I done did a lot. You ain't did shit at all.